Welcome back, guys. So sitting with us in weekly roundup with Studiopedia, we have David Oletu. So, Mr. David, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay. So we'd like to know more about you. Tell us what you do. Whatever you want to know.
My name is David Oletu. I'm a creative writer and an editor. I'm the founder of Eagledeye Media, a non-profit PR and communications firm that aims to build and inspire globally resourceful young leaders. And over the years, we've successfully hosted numerous enlightenment and empowerment programs that have impacted over 8,000 teenagers across Nigeria. And I'm also a storyteller. I have over 20 published stories on both online and print magazine. And what else can I say? But I think that's all for me for now.
Okay, so David, it is very nice to have you with us in the weekly roundup of Studiopedia. You're welcome. So before we dive deep into the topic, can you tell us what significance does the International Day of the African Child have, and why is it important to commemorate this day?
Alright, the International Day for the African Child, it's a day specifically meant to celebrate the African child and also to reflect on the struggle of the African child, the challenges they face, and also to think deeply on ways we can address these issues. It's so sad that many people don't know the significance of this day. Do they even know that a day like this exists?
No,
many of them don't know that a day like this exists, not to talk of the significance. So it feels like we should just go around the streets of Africa, carrying placards, International Day to create awareness. The African child, they play a very vital role in shaping the future of our nation. And when the foundation is faulty, the building can collapse. So it is very, very important we are careful when it comes to dealing with the African child. Yeah, and that's why this day is important.
Okay, and so what's your take on the current child right and protection service? What do you think about it?
Okay, for the current child rights and protection law, well, I feel they are just written. There is no action, no implementation, nothing. So they are just written there. For instance, we have the child right to expression, freedom of expression. That a child has the right to express themselves. But what do we see in our society today? We look down on children. We say, keep quiet.
Yeah, you're just a child. What do you know?
What do you know? What do you know? Keep quiet. But funnily enough, they have a very, very good view. Some of them may be right. So it is very important that parents listen to their children because they may be trying to pass a message across. We also have another law that states about child labor, that a child should not be subjected to doing things that would affect their physical and mental health. But what do we have today? We have so many children roaming around the streets, hawking. This can make them vulnerable to accidents and some abuse. We also have another child law that states that children who are suffering from certain health conditions must be protected. But what do we have today? We see children who are suffering from certain health conditions, congenital adrenal and autism. They are being all this stigma. Some of them they are being insulted on the street, and this can affect their low self-esteem and mental health. We have so many other laws like that, protection right, but they are not being implemented. So I think it's time for us to take action. Take action and implement this law better and educate people more about this.
Okay, thank you. That said, what challenges are faced by the African child today?
Okay, challenges. There are two factors that are responsible for the challenges the African child face. We have the parental factor and we have the environmental factor. So many children today they lack parental care. Some parents just give birth to children, and at the end of the day they can't cater. They can't cater for them. It's so sad. Whenever I pass by the street of Agege or Oshodi, I'll see so many children begging.
Exactly, that's what my kids do. If they will hold you, they'll literally want to go to your house.
They'll be begging, and some of them will even sleep on that bridge. And then I ask myself, who are those responsible for these children? What if these children grow up one day and resort to crimes? What do we see? What if the girl child, what if they are sexually abused and they give birth to more children. We don't have more children piling up. Children that they can't cater for, and this is causing a lot of issue. And speaking on environmental factors, so many children, they grow up in a toxic environment. Imagine that child who grew up in a home where the parents are fighting. This thing has a way of affecting their mental health, their psychology, their view of life. For instance, the girl child may be scared of men.
It might not even have to be fighting every time. It could be cheating.
Cheating.
Exactly.
Cheating. So they will be scared. They will have this negative view of marriage.
Why we only looking at the female perspective?
They have,
also the guys.
Guys too. They will look at violence. There will be this sort of violence in their mind that they have to treat female anyhow based on how their father
treated their
mother. And
so it's a norm. So I feel
like it's a normal thing. Exactly.
It's a normal, and they feel like it's a normal thing. And we also have this environment whereby people are into drugs. So this has a long way of affecting their view of how do I put it? Their view of engaging on this kind of things can influence them negatively. Thereby making them think that smoking is normal, drinking alcohol is normal, doing all sort of things is normal. And do you know that there is something we call second-hand smoking? These are things that we don't know about. Let's say I'm smoking beside a child now. I'm smoking beside a child. You know that the child is automatically smoking too. You may know how to, but it's automatically smoking. Once it's inhaling those smoke, it is affecting. It may affect his internal organs. So these are the things we should be careful of. The kind of environment and the parents too.
Talking about this child rights and protection, I recently watched a video about this woman where she was beating her child outside with scars, and then this girl was still bathing outside, and then this man came out and was doing a video about it.
Yes, look at this girl's body. You have brutalized her. Look at all her body. Fully brutalized.
Okay.
What kind of rubbish is this?
What kind of rubbish is that?
How can you treat a human being? Look at I cannot dehumanize my own children. I can't dehumanize my own children. What is this? Look at her face. Look at all her back.
Okay.
Look at her leg.
Look at her leg. Look at all her back.
What kind of rubbish is this?
Look at all her back. Continue.
If you are the one who give birth to her, will you treat her like this?
It's you that gave birth to her for me now.
This is not your daughter.
It's you that gave birth to her for me.
You are a wicked woman.
Wicked man too. You are an heartless man.
You don't know God.
You don't have mind. You don't have conscience.
Ẹlẹ́dọ̀ọ́mọ yìí ajẹniya.
Ajẹ yìí náà yà. Ajẹ ìwọ náà yà.
This will get to Lagos State government.
If you don't do it, you're a bastard.
You will see.
Okay.
See all her body.
Okay.
Injury.
Okay.
Beaten like an animal.
Okay.
Look at all her body.
Okay.
And you are forcing her to bath outside.
Yeah.
One more jail. You will go to jail for this. You will see.
You
will go to jail for this. Look at this girl's body. Ẹ wo bó ṣe nà. Ó wá tú sí hóhó. God will shame you in public for doing this to this girl.
You will be shamed. You will be shamed. You are an heartless man. You know everything. I showed you everything right from start.
Why do we tend to have parents that do this thing? I feel like even they too, even the parents that are going through this, even these parents that are doing these things are also victims of this.
Probably, because you won't just wake up and want to treat your child that way.
It's sad. I feel like this is so.
It's really sad. No, it's really sad. Let's just be very honest. It's really sad.
And it's so underrated. Like we like you said, we are not creating enough awareness for this.
I think we have to do like a walk around the country.
International Day of the African Child.
To create more awareness. So what do you think, David Oletu? Do African parents go overboard when they have to discipline their children?
That kids.
Yes, they do. Like honestly, they do.
They actually go overboard. One thing about African parents, they feel that the best way to discipline your children is to
beat.
Yeah.
Violence, so that this child will be scared. And I ask myself, why do you have to instill fear on this child to correct him? It's not really cool. Whenever we are doing something as parents, we should always think of tomorrow. these children, they will grow up one day to become adults. And are you aware that some kids, they don't forget things easily.
At all. Yeah.
They remember
That's
the
why
things.
childhood trauma
They remember
comes.
the things we did, and it will affect their mental health. It will put fear in them. I have a story to share. When I was a child, I didn't know anything. I was like a dullard. Olodo, this Olodo rapper in school then. And my teachers always flog me. Read your book. But then I'm still not improving. Whenever I'm going to school, there's this fear that another day my classmate will be insulting me that I am Olodo teacher. Even if it got to a stage that my teachers, they were tired of me. See, they feel like I would have been a secondary school dropout, a primary school dropout.
Instead of them to find
a way, they were tired of me. But do you know what happened? There was a day that I discovered that I could actually become the best, and that was the day when they engaged me in a particular activity in school. They called us to come and speak on the pep talk. So they called me. Let's invite David Oletu on stage.
Everybody expected less.
I mean, I was already prepared. Yes. Olodo, guys.
Do you get?
So that day, I spoke, and for the first time in my life, I received
A round
of applause. In fact, the principal came up to commend me. They said, "Wow, this is beautiful." And from that day, I started to have a positive mentality of myself. So you see, it was not even those skin.
Exactly. I don't feel like it's you.
It was not even those skin.
You can't change anything.
The Bible says that we should spare the
Spare the rod.
For child.
Spare the rod. What? Let's think about these things. It actually affects their mental health, their psychology. It puts fear in them. Imagine if God, we see God as our Father. Yeah. Imagine that He's always flogging us for each sin we commit. How would you feel? Some of you may feel depressed. That why am I even living?
Yeah. High rates of suicide, actually.
High rates of suicide. You get so link this scenario to the normal African child. Parents flogging them every day.
Every little thing.
So I feel there are ways we can actually correct these things. Aside flogging them, violence and the rest. I feel there are ways we can do better in Africa.
We can, honest Africans. You guys can do better.
We.
Okay.
So do you think African parents love as much as a discipline?
Well, do they love as much as the discipline? Well, I won't love to generalize. I feel they feel that the way they can show love to their children is by discipline. But because at the end of the day, they will say, it's because I love you. That's why I'm doing all this thing. What do you term that as love?
No, it's not. No.
Do you term that as love? Well, I would say to them, they really love their children. But
that's the way they know how to love, right?
To them, they really love. They feel that they love their children, but they can. Well, I just feel they need to be educated on ways they can
show love
better to their children. Show love and care better to their children. Just education, awareness. That's all. Just a word to African parents. Remember, children will grow to become adults tomorrow. And you as a parent, you will grow to become old tomorrow. So whenever you are treating your children, treat them right. Remember tomorrow, because they too, they will be the one to help you tomorrow, and they are the responsibility of the society. If the children are bad, it will affect society as a whole.
Okay, finally we've come to the end of an amazing discussion and conversation with David Oletu. I'm sure you viewers learned something important today. I mean, take action and also treat your children with so much care and love. And if you don't know how to love, well,
come and teach me. Come and meet me rather. I'll teach you how to love. Like, I'm so much loved at home.
Yeah. But we'd also like to hear your opinions on what we've discussed today. So please don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section. Also, like, share.
Hit that notification. If you can even hit it, like it, just
so you don't miss out on our next episodes with the weekly roundup. Anyways, we love you guys. See you guys next week.
Yeah, it's the weekend, guys. Don't forget to do something fun. Bye.
We love you.